Hello, fellow YouTubers. Welcome back to YouTube Gaming Community number 140. So today was the big Sopa blackout. Some companies did it, some companies kind of did it. But let's just hope it brought awareness. Listen, Pipa, P-I-P-A, is coming up January 24th to be voted on, and then in February you have Sopa coming back. These are two very important bills. They're basically almost identical in some ways. But first video to check out is AlphaOmegaSin's Sopa delayed and the Pipa bill is next. Voicing his very verbal opinions on why people should pay attention about this stuff. The next video I want to point you to is JeepersMedia, Sopa and Pipa Horror Story Exposed in the UK, Richard O'Dwyer by Mozart. Sorry. Why is this video important? What does this video add to the conversation, you may ask? Well, first of all, it shows about this kid in the UK who is being deported to the United States for copyright infringement. The problem is, where he lives at, he did not break any laws. He broke laws here, not there. He didn't break laws in his country where he's from. And there is no Sopa yet. There is no Pipa yet, but he is going to get deported to this country. Now, he is in the rare distinguished that a billionaire has saw this and said he will pay for his legal fees and defend him. Now listen. The great thing about this video is not only about this kid, but he explains the very same companies that are against illegal downloading, that are sponsoring these bills, are the very same companies that distributed the software and put it in everybody's hands and promoted it. That they are telling you you are guilty when they are just as guilty for distributing the stuff. But they don't pay any consequences. You do. In the next video, because I know a lot of people don't understand Sopa, they don't understand where this all began, check out TEDtalksDirector Defend Our Freedom to Share and Why Sopa is a Bad Idea. In this great video, he explains that this all started in 1992 when these companies were scared of audio cassette recordings and other stuff, and they went to court in 1992 and they lost. And how they went from that to the Digital Millennium Act to these bills today, and why they're all important and how we got to where we are and their motivation. And truthfully, the video points out the simple fact that people should not get too excited if you defeat Sopa. People should not get too overexcited about Pipa, because they are going to try again. The same people who sponsored this bill that are now backing out of it said there's nothing wrong with the bill, we have to rework it. Meaning they don't see what the problem is. They're politically only backing out because of public pressure. But the minute these people that are for these bills are funding millions and millions and millions of dollars to get these people to vote for what they want. These groups are not going to stop. You cannot let your guard down for 1 second, because once these bills are gone, there'll be another bill on the horizon. It is ultimately about these companies getting back to where they were before any kind of equipment that allowed them to circumvent the system that they enjoyed so much. They want to go back to before the audio cassette recordings, before any of this digital stuff existed, where they were the only form to watch the stuff, they were the only form to get the stuff, and they had it easy. They could make a mediocre product and it would sell very well. They don't care about your best interest. The politicians do not care about your best interest. But if they think you could vote them out of office, if they think they're going to pay a price, then they start to care. And this is where people making videos about this, people talking about blackouts are all fine and dandy, but the truth of the matter is you have to start getting rid of the people in office that are against your rights. We need to be aware of the people who are for this bill, who voted for this bill, and to make sure that either they understand if they do it again they will pay a price, or to get those people out of office so that this stuff doesn't happen again. This is something that if anybody who's been on the internet should have seen this stuff coming a long time. The governments and companies do not like people having any sort of power, and that's what it has given. It has given people power. And they do not want to compete against the average person because they can't. The average person brings the one thing that they do not have, and that is being an everybody person who can make, who is creative, who can make the stuff they can't, because quite honestly, most of those companies aren't very creative. They just want it to be where there's a closed environment, and so that's what they're trying to do. So, my question to you for our topic today is, do you think people should be overexcited about the fact that it looks like Sopa's been delayed and that it looks like it might be defeated? Or do you think, hey, you know what? This is just a step in a long fight. Love to hear your guys' opinion on it. Love to hear your opinion in general about Sopa and Pipa and any of that stuff that might affect you. Now, one more thing I want to talk about that has affected a lot of YouTubers was on the 12th of January, and it seems to be 13th, people, if you look at those websites that keep track of subs and stuff, YouTube took everybody's subs away and put them back, getting rid of the inactive accounts. Now, this has spooked people because the truth of the matter is, what is it defined by YouTube as an inactive account? And so, does this mean that you can't leave, if you recorded videos and you don't have the motivation, that you can't just leave your account there, that after so long they're going to take it off? Some people are worried about inactive accounts, so just be aware. If you lost a lot of subs during that time, that was because YouTube went through and got rid of the inactive accounts in your sub list. And what they did, they basically zeroed it out and then brought back all the people that still existed on YouTube. So, let's get to some more videos. One of the things I wanted to do this year was get some smaller channels, drop some of the bigger channels for a while, bring attention to some small, unknown channels in our gaming community. And the first one is withchuckles, top 10 favorite games of all time, which actually turns into a top 15 because his friend stops by. And one thing I will say about this all favorite list of all time, outside the number one game is not a surprise. All the rest of their games are very varied, and I think a lot of these games most people would have not thought about their list, and that's why I like this list, is because it's not your average, oh, here's my top 15 games. It's the same list that everybody else makes when it comes to their favorite. Also, these two guys are just having fun and joking around, and so check the video out. Next up is retrofusionboyo, Star Force Tecmo 1984. If you've never seen this shmup, check it out. It's really cool. Next up is ObessedWithNES, Thrift Stores Finds, January 5th, 2012. Super Nintendo, NES, Game Boy, Game Gear, PlayStation. He got a bunch of games for all these systems, so if you're interested, check that out. Next up is Mr. Game Plea 33. I Complete, You Hear About It, number 2. Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs. It is I Complete It, You Hear About It. Basically, when he beats a game, he talks to you about it after he's done beating the game. So this game, him and his girlfriend beat on the PlayStation 3, Cloudy with the Chance of Meatball from the movie, and he gives you his opinion about the game and gameplay. Next up, LottnerLand, unboxing a Famicom disk system game, the Retro Gamer Vlog. Now, I did not know this game existed. I did not know there was actually a sequel to Kid Icarus released on the Famicom disk system. And so the box and the game look really cool. If you're interested, check out his video talking about it. And from request, from Dumez, he wanted me to shout out Egoraptor, Sequelitis, Mega Man Classic versus Mega Man X. Now, what is so great about this video, besides his cartoon drawings and his humor, is he shows why Mega Man, the original Mega Man series, well, Mega Man 1 through 6, and Mega Man X, how they, through great game design, they teach you how to play the game without just, you could pick it up without having to, you basically, when you play the game, you learn as you go. You don't have to, the way the levels are designed, it's easy, you figure it out, you don't need anybody to hold your hand, and they're not too hard where you have to read an instruction booklet. Really cool video showing those old games, so check it out. Next up is MikeGartner's Mortal Shoutouts. Now this was requested by Ryan right now. And it's a really cool style. It is him taking the old Mortal Kombat style to shout out people in the gaming community. And some dude with glasses who drinks out of coffee cups in this video, man, I see that guy too much. But there's a lot of other cool people in this video. It's really cool, imaginative way to do a shout out video. So check it out. Because he did write out, like with people in the video, he shows like the ending page of Mortal Kombat, and then he shows what their pictures changing, and then he shows all the stuff he writes. He put a lot of work into this video, very creative. Next up, now these next two videos I'm going to talk about, you know, we talk in this community about EBegging. A lot of people don't like it. I know I personally am starting to get sick of the, if you want to continue to see us make these videos or great content, give us money for this new computer. We're using this old computer we have that would work just fine, and we could probably make do and not have all the fancy stuff we do, but we need to give us money so that we can make these fancy videos. And if you want the videos, you gotta give us money. The one argument to that people I know have made, and they're very truthful argument, is how come they don't do, everybody else has this problem, how come they don't simply live within their means, save their money, live with the fact that it's lower quality till then, and buy what they need? A lot of people in our community have simply didn't ask for money, they simply got the equipment and saved as they went along. Chipsters would be an example of a guy who's done it. Crow 101 is an example of a guy in our community who got better stuff over time. He didn't ask for a single dime, and a lot of guys, things have gone bad, and what they simply did was save up and get it when they could afford it instead of asking their people. It's starting to become a point where we're starting to become milking the people who watch your show. Okay, this is supposed to be regular people making videos. When you start asking for money, the dynamic changes completely. You start becoming something different. You start becoming a business, a company. You are no longer an average Joe sitting behind that camera making videos when you start asking for money. And it is a trend I wish would frickin' quit in our community. It makes me sick to my stomach that people... And the worst thing is, these popular people are doing it, and what they're doing is they're teaching the young people that this is a good thing, that they should go out, and when they want something, they should beg for it instead of working for it and saving up for it. This is the problem with and it's really popular people, like more like Angry Video Game Nerd asking for money, and Freddie W, who that was their dream to make their movie and to do their series. The problem was the younger people didn't see it that way. They see, hey, you know what? They see the money they make, and they say, you know what? People will give me money too. And it's a shame, because the crap needs to quit. And if you're asking for money in this community for something that you don't need, that you can live without, that you're just doing it because you want it, you be faithful, be honest to the people who you watch your videos. Tell them you don't need this item, you want this item to make your videos. I saw no less than 6 begging videos over the last 2 weeks for people begging for money. These next 2 videos I'm going to shout out are real situations where real reasons why people make a video asking for money. Where things in life, bad things happen in life, and sometimes, you know what, when really, really bad things happen, you have to ask for help. The first one is Mistress Isabel. Her dad unfortunately has lung cancer. I know very well a couple years ago going through my dad having cancer. It's a very ugly situation, and having to bury him within a quick month's time from the time I knew about his cancer to the time he died, and how the financial burden of burying someone is really expensive. Now, what she did was she did a 24-hour marathon live streaming. She did raise a little money from that, but I'm shouting out her stream fundraiser benefit tonight. Not for the stream, it's already done, but in that links below, there is somewhere to donate if you'd like to donate to help with her out with her dad's funeral expenses, because he's not dead yet, but unfortunately cancer is a nasty thing, and when he's got lung cancer, and unfortunately, she said it didn't look very good. So, the best to her and her family. The next one is a Gibbs 24. Now, I'm going to shout out her Girly Gamer Pledge update. There is a link there to go if you want to help her out. This case is simply a case where she came over here to this country, and someone told her the wrong thing. The Defense of Marriage Act has to play a part in this. Now, let's take out the religion out of this, people. Let's take out sexual choices that people get hung on. If you boil it down, the situation to the very essence, it simply is two people that are in a bad situation because someone told them the wrong thing, and they need help. They need help for having money to get a student visa to go to school so she can stay in this country to stay with their loved ones. So if you're interested, go to that video, watch her video, and if you like to help, leave her money. Did go kind of tangent about EBegging. I didn't expect to do that, but oh well. That's how I feel about it. I'm getting sick and tired of seeing those videos of EBegging for no reason. These two situations, it's affecting life, turns bad sometimes. And sometimes you're in a choice where you feel like you have no choice. And hopefully it works out for both of them. So, that's it for now, guys. I will talk to you guys again on Sunday.